I'm backing up my truck, I'm gonna hook it up, loading up my boat with all my gear. I've been working hard all week, trying to make ends meet, spending time wishing I was fishing. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing. Gather up your gear and come along. Well, Terry Wickstrom wants to take you fishing.
This is Terry Wickstrom. Join Karen Cullum, Greg Clusiau, and me as we take you to some of our favorite fishing spots from Colorado to Minnesota, the Arctic Circle to Central America and beyond. As we revisit episodes of Mountain States Fishing and Angling Adventures Television on the best of fishing with Terry Wickstrom. Hey, we're up here today in north central Minnesota. This guy in the end you probably recognize, been on the show quite a bit, our co-host Greg Clusiau. Greg, it's finally good to fish together again for a while.
Yes, it is.
We've been, we only did it for about, well, I'm not going to say how many years, but they'll know how old we are.
Quite a while.
Yeah, since we were about 2 years old, we've been beating around and fishing together, of course. And we're up here at Red Lake, Upper Red Lake.
Upper Red Lake.
We're north central Minnesota with Steve and Tyler Brazel and Bear Paw Guide Service. Is that right? Got that right? And we're sitting outside of the cabin we're staying in that we rented from them, or we're using from them, that you rent out. We're up here because this lake, well, in the wintertime you come up here for the crappies. You want to tell them a lot of things, but we're up here because it's kind of been a secret, but it's becoming kind of known about the trophy pike fishing you have. And so you, Tyler, you tell me you can catch a lot of big pike up here.
Yeah, they're fairly easy to catch.
And lots of them.
Oh, tons of them.
What kind of size can we expect?
Well, about the average size pike on Upper Red Lake is about, it's right around that 35 to 40 inch range. And
So
they're getting bigger every year.
So it's not uncommon to catch a 40-inch pike up here.
Not uncommon at all.
Steve, the kind of pike you and I were talking earlier that most people think they have to go up into Canada to catch. They have to get up into the Canadian waters. Here you got some accessible water where you can drive right and catch them right here.
That's right.
Now you do taxidermy here?
Yes, I do. I've been doing that for about 25 years.
And you rent the cabin.
Rent the cabin.
You have ice fishing's a big deal, Greg. In fact, you kind of helped get it started, you and a friend of ours, Brad Dawkin, when you wrote about the crappie fishing through the ice here. And it's just been pretty phenomenal. It's a phenomenon all in itself that people come out here to crappie fish to the ice, isn't it?
That's right. World-class crappie fishing here.
And you're moving ice houses. You supply ice houses they can rent. They come out here. Let's kind of go over real quick what you supply, and we'll talk a little more about the lake. In the wintertime, there's ice fishermen come up here. They can rent your ice houses, your fish houses. You move them around the lake. And you help put them in position, and you help them stay on the fish.
That's right. Tyler's my guide when it comes to that, and usually in the evenings I let him go and he finds fish, and the next day we'll move houses when he finds them, and for the most part he does very well finding and keeping us on fish.
And I think we want to come back up here and probably do a show just on that winter crappie fishing, because we really can't do it justice sitting here in the summer talking about it. And Tyler, you do most of the guiding for the pike fishing, what we're going to do.
Yep.
And the type of fishing is mostly two ways of fishing for it. You can do a lot of casting and drifting, or you can do some trolling, depending on the skill level and what the clients would like to do.
Yep, it gets tough casting those bait casters, so it all depends on how well the fisherman can fish, you know.
But either way can be very productive.
Oh, they're both very productive.
And something else that's going to happen up here, we're here in 2005, and in 2006, for the first time in years, this lake is going to be opened up for walleye fishing, and it's a phenomenal walleye lake. It's been kind of, it had gone through some commercial fishing. The fishery had been down. It's been kind of, the DNR's been rebuilding it, and they're ready to open up. It's going to have some special regulations. But Greg, you up here pike fishing. What happens when you come up here pike fishing? What kind of walleyes you've been catching just on pike presentations?
Well, even just pike fishing with pike baits, larger baits, it's not unusual to get walleyes from 20 to 26 inches.
And numbers of them.
And numbers, you're right.
So it's going to...
I can't imagine using walleye tackle and actually going for them.
It's going to be just phenomenal. And you guys, you'll guide for that too, I'm sure.
Yep, you bet.
And both winter and summer, that'll be ice fishing, and you do some ice fishing for pike too, right?
Yeah.
So it's phenomenal. We're talking upper and lower Red Lake, two of the largest bodies of water in Minnesota, and you've got about a 9-mile by 10-mile stretch that's open to fish. So we got close to 100 square miles that we can go out and give a try. It's a phenomenal facility. We're going to go out with Tyler, Greg, and I in the boat, try to get some of these pike, maybe show you a few of the walleyes. We're going to be staying right here at the cabin. Now, people want to come up. We're going to give them your phone number and how they get a hold of you, and any website or information. We'll put that up on the screen now, and we'll put that up again during the credits. But you have this cabin you rent out. It'll sleep how many?
It'll sleep 8.
Sleep 8. And if they want to just come up here and fish, and whether or not your cabin's available, there's other facilities around. If your cabin was full, they could still come out and ice fish, or possibly even day fish with Tyler. And there's just or a lot of day people come up too. They just come up for the day.
You bet they do.
Well, guys, I'm anxious to get out on the lake. Let's get on the water and see if we can get some of these big upper Red Lake pike.
Let's do it.
There's one. I think this might be a
Fish on?
probably a walleye. That didn't take very long.
Want me to reel in, or you can?
No, we're fine. I think we can keep on moving.
All right. Just keep trolling. Get out here. We're out on Red Lake in northern Minnesota. We're pike fishing, and Mr. Greg Clusiau's hooked up in about the first 4 minutes out.
Yeah, it didn't take very long.
Think it might be a walleye, though.
I think it is.
You know, we're actually pike fishing out here, but in the spring of 2006, Red Lake opens up for walleye fishing. It's been closed for years. It's going to be special limits and regulations you need to check, but it is going to be one of the premier walleye fisheries in the United States when it opens. When you're watching this, you'll be able to come here and target the walleyes. That's not a bad little...
And that's a small one.
That's just a little walleye, but get the action going right away.
This lake is just teeming with fish like this.
In fact, when you pike fish, you almost always are catching some walleyes, aren't you?
Oh yeah, it's part of the game.
And we're trolling big spoons. We're not making walleye type presentations, although spoons are a better walleye lure than people think. Well, I could have caught that, but I'm here to get pike, so I'll just wait till I get that 40-inch pike.
Yeah, and it very well could happen, any second.
And you've been up here, and typically we're with the Bear Paw Guide Service, and we'll talk to the fellas, introduce them a little more later, but they're kind of experts on getting the big pike out here, aren't they?
Oh, they are. Tyler, he's our guide here. He's fished it for, the last 5 years?
And you should...
And I think he might have just lost one.
You probably don't see him on camera. He's up towards the front of the boat driving a little bit. We're going to do some trolling, some casting, different means. How big is Red Lake, Greg? It's about 130,000 acres, I think. It's over 100,000.
Oh, easily. I'm not quite sure the exact acreage. And we can fish 1/3 of it basically. And then there's a reservation. We can't go on that side. We got to stay on this side, but it's not like we're limited for water. I mean, it's just huge.
Oh, it's a huge lake, and it's a tremendous fishery. In the wintertime, I know you ice fish it for crappies. It's a famous crappie lake.
Oh,
tremendous.
It's world class.
And the walleyes, tell me about, you were up here pre-fishing for the TV show. How big were the walleyes you were catching trolling for pike?
Well, we're using pike-sized baits, good-sized baits, and Tyler got one 26 inches, I got one 24. I mean, these are nice walleyes.
Yeah, those are the walleyes, folks. And the pike, it's not uncommon to get a 40-inch or plus.
No, they're nice fish. We get them a lot of times ice fishing, going for the crappies, and Tyler, because he lives right on the shore here, I'm pretty envious of him. What's your biggest out here?
Pike?
Yeah.
44 3/4.
That's a big fish.
That's a big pike. It was pushing, what, 25, 30 pounds?
Easy.
Yeah. And the pictures I've seen, the fish are really fat. Well, let's get a few more in the boat. You broke the ice with that walleye.
Yeah.
Let's get a few fish and have a good time.
Got us started.
Hooked up again. This time I'm keeping it on, but I don't think it's what I'm looking for. Been out here after pike, but it looks like just a decent walleye.
Oh yeah.
Decent walleye. We'll lift that in here. Oh! One thing about being rigged for pike, I can lift a walleye like that. I'll tell you what, folks, Nothing wrong with that. Red Lake walleyes, you know, starting in the spring of 2006, you would come out and target these, and this is a little one. This lake, you wouldn't be able to keep one this size. What's the limit again?
17 to 26.
You'll have to release anything from 17 to 26 two fish, but you'll catch lots in that size and up and bigger. We're going after pike today. We're not ready to take these. We'll put these back, but they'll be up here when you come walleye fishing.
Walleye.
Walleye on. We're up for pike. We're boating lots of. I tell you what, folks, when this is ready for walleye fishing next year, 2006, this is going to be a bonanza because we're not even targeting walleyes and we're catching them one right after another.
Yeah, I can't imagine if we went through there with a jig and a minnow or a shad wrap.
Oh, it'd be just unbelievable. I'm going to grab them for you.
Another healthy fish. Boy, they're nice.
Those are nice, healthy walleyes. Look at that, just a great population of them. That's you.
And using northern tackle. Big spoons and
Yeah.
bucktails.
Steel leaders.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were out there really trying to fool walleyes, I can just imagine what you do. Good, healthy walleyes. We'll get this back in the lake and we'll go out and keep trying for pike. Well, Tyler, we're not catching any pike yet, but we're catching walleye one right after another. All right. Oh, another one. It just... Go ahead and lift it. I'll tell you what, today this is a small one, but today we may be getting disappointed because we're really trying for pike, but there's a lot of people are going to be excited about the fact that we're catching one walleye right after another. In fact, we'd probably catch more pike if we weren't reeling in walleyes all the time. No. So I imagine, here's what folks, I'm going to show you. We're pulling some pretty good sized spoons with big hooks, and we're catching walleyes anywhere from 14 inches to the mid 20s, and we're not even really trying for them. When people get out here and start using the traditional walleye rigs, trolling with the small crankbaits, the Lindy rigs, bottom bouncers, I think it's just going to be unbelievable.
Constant walleyes, yeah.
It's going to be, you're going to be sorting through them. Now the limit's going to be restricted. You're only going to be able to keep a couple, but if you want to hunt a trophy fish, you could come here. If you just want to catch a bunch and take a couple home, it's going to be a great walleye lake. Well, let's get back out and get those pike.
All right.
With Tyler Brazel, he's our guide today. You and your dad run Bear Paw Guide Service.
Yep.
And you do fishing,
Yep.
bear hunting,
Yep.
and then ice fishing too, the winter shacks.
Yep, we also, yep.
How long have you been fishing this lake?
Well, 5 years.
5 years. How many big pike over 36 inches do you think you've caught in this lake?
I couldn't even count.
Hundreds?
Thousands.
Thousands?
I fish every day.
And it's
so, and you know, you catch 10, 11, 12 pike that are over 35 every day.
you hear that? 10?
It tends to add up after a while.
I'll bet 10, 12 pike over 36 inches a day. That's the kind of fishing we got here at Red Lake. And when's the best time? Somebody wants to come up, let's talk about pike fishing with you. When is the best time for them to come up?
Probably June or July.
June?
Whenever that water starts really warming up, these pike really start getting active.
Okay, we're going to put the phone number up here and the name of the guide service on the website, and we're going to give it to you again in the credits. But so how do you like guiding for pike? Do you like that?
That's probably my specialty, actually. It's what I prefer to do.
Yeah, you more than the ice fishing, you like the pike or the crappie?
Whenever I'm out crappie fishing, any time of the year, I've always got pike in the back of my mind.
When I was your age, I had other things in the back of my mind, but that's okay. We'll take you out pike fishing. But so people want to come up here, you think June and July is the best, and pretty good chance if somebody's never caught a big pike, if they came up here, they'd catch the big fish of their life.
Yep, most likely.
All right. Greg's hooked up with another walleye. We got into a little rough spot, but more the walleyes in this lake, Greg. When this opens up in 2006 for walleye fishing, it's going to be a banana. Look at the nice, healthy fish. I'll tell you what, folks. Nice, healthy walleyes. Go ahead and take the hook out of her, Greg. When this lake opens up for walleye fishing in 2006, it's going to be a bonanza. And this is little fish, folks. There's lots of 20 to 30 inch fish in this lake, too. Can't keep any yet, but it's only a few months away. We'll get this one back in the water, and it'll be here when you come pike, walleye, or crappie fishing at Upper Red Lake in Minnesota. Hey, we're going to get you back out on Red Lake in just a minute. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get back out on the water with you. While we were up there filming, a wind came up, and Red Lake is a 109,000 acre lake, and it's only 18 feet deep. And we had a pretty strong wind came up, and it was just virtually impossible for us to film for the remainder of the time I was there. So what happened, Greg Clusiau got to come back a few days later with some local anglers, and him and Tyler went out and really got into the monster pike we were targeting. We're going to get you back out and show you that in just a minute, but let me tell you a little bit about the fishing at Red Lake. Red Lake is world famous for its ice fishing for crappies. It's really a mecca for ice fishermen, and it's become just a world-class crappie lake. The walleyes. Red Lake opens for true walleye fishing in 2006. After a long recovery program, and it is going to be and is a world-class walleye fishery. But we were up there targeting the pike, and we're going to get you back out there and show you the monster pike you can catch on Red Lake with Greg Clusiau.
Feel like a northern?
Yeah, it's pike.
Well, we just had a bite and it shook off. We turned around, went right back through the same area.
I can tell this time of year though, they all fight so good. Woo.
That's no walleye.
We'll be there.
Atta boy, that's a nice fish.
Hallelujah. Come on, Mom.
Nice one.
Yeah, it's a nice fish. There she goes. Ain't fighting too much, but I'm pretty sure it's a decent sized pike.
Second one in about 15 minutes.
Controlled 4 minutes.
Yeah, probably that. Oh, it's putting up a good tussle. Kind of surprised you.
Yeah, a little bit. Bigger than the last one, I think. I think it's bigger than the last one.
Think so, huh? Oh, it's a nice fish.
Hey, bro. He's about 4.
Another nice fish. Atta boy.
These things fight so sweet. Yeah, that's a nice one.
Another nice fish. It's incredible. The pike fishery up here is just unbelievable.
Fucking thing with that one. Come on, Mama. Oh.
Another tank.
Yeah, this thing's a pig.
Wow, that's a good fish.
Yeah, this is a pig. This is a nice fish.
Wow, that's a beauty.
It's time now for Greg's tackle tip of the week.
So if a person was to come up here, what kind of line should they have? They should have at least, what, 30-pound test?
I'd probably buy a 30-pound braided or else fire line. Monofilament works, but it tends to stretch a little more than braided does.
Yeah.
So it might not get a better hook set.
Have a good quality reel?
Yeah,
Good bait caster?
It's got to have some backbone to it. It's got to have enough oomph to reel these things in.
I got a good musky swivel or leader on here. Ball bearing swivel with a cross lock
that's
snap.
important
Something
too.
good and strong.
Yep.
And the spoons, you've been doing well on generic spoons.
Just even no-name brands. Yep,
Yeah.
doesn't really matter.
As long as you got them good and sharp.
Yep.
And I've done well also on, and you should have, this is all you really need here. You've got all the tools here, jaw spreaders, should have those ready. Hook removers, file, leaders, variety of spoons.
That was Greg's tackle tip for this week, and now back to more angling adventures.
This feels like a good one. Oh boy. Oh, this is a nice fish. Upper Red Lake, Minnesota. Come on up here and try this. There's no lack of action. This is a nice fish. Look at that pig. Oh yeah.
That's a monster.
Oh, another pig. Boy, did that thing fight. Oh. And yet another one. Man, these fish are biting. All right, another one.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm pretty jealous of Greg. He got to go back out and get those big pike that we were going to target when I was up there. But you can see what phenomenal pike fishing it is. 40-inch pike after 40-inch pike. You know, if you want to go up and take advantage of that pike fishing or winter fishing for crappies and the walleye season that opens next year, get a hold of the guys at Bear Paw Guide Service. We're going to put their information right up here on the screen. We'll give you their phone number and their website. Great people to work with. They've got accommodations right there. They know the lake. You'll have a successful trip. And if you've ever been interested in bear hunting, they also guide baited bear hunts in the fall. So get a hold of Bear Paw Guide Service and join us next week for another angling adventure.